What's going on, guys? My name is Josh with your renovation expert. In today's video, we're going to be talking about how to mix compound. So first things first, if you guys could do me a quick favor and just hit that subscribe button, like and comment. If you got any questions, I'll get back to you as soon as I possibly can. But let's dive right into it. So step one, the first thing we'll be talking about is the different types of compound you can use and when you should use them. All right, so what you see next to me now is Easy Sand 5, 20, and 45. And this is basically your joint compound in the powder forms. They also have it in the bucket that's already pre-made for you. And we'll talk about, the difference in them and what's best for your project. So starting with Easy Sand 5, this dries extremely fast. This is best if you have like small holes, things that won't require you to mix a lot at a time. Why? Because if you mix this and go take a phone call, by the time you come back, your pan is gonna be dry and you're gonna need to throw that out and mix some more. So small patches, I would say go ahead with the Easy Sand 5. What I usually use on my projects on a day-to-day is the 20 minutes or the 45. Basically, if you have a bigger patch that you're working with, these are your best two because you have time to maneuver yourself around the project and still have enough in your pan that won't be dry. Also, what's good about these is if you planned on patching your wall and would like to actually put a second coat on it the same day and potentially sand and paint it, these are your friends. All right, guys, so outside of the different kinds of compound that you can use for your projects, the tools that you need for your projects is a mud pan, a mud knife, and a trowel, or something basically that you can mix with. And I know mine is kind of dirty right now because I was just using it and I didn't take the time to actually clean them. But before you actually begin to mix your compound, you want to make sure that your tools are completely clean and free of debris so it's not in your mix. So now we're gonna go ahead and move to step number 2, which is the ratio between how much water and product that you want to use. They say you're supposed to use 1 part water, 2 parts joint compound. And me personally, unless you're gonna be there with a measuring cup and trying to be all technical, there's no point in doing that. Really, all you gotta do is just put some of your mix inside of a pan and add water. Don't just flush it down with water. You don't wanna add some water, mix it, and gradually continue to add water until you get the mix that you want. If you end up putting in too much water, it's still fine. You can always just add more of the mix and you can just, balance it out. But that's what I'm saying. You want to start with the mix and then add water so you can kind of work with what you have. You know what I'm saying? So before I begin to mix these, I'm going to start talking about the bucket compound and what's best for those. So what you're seeing here is the bucket form of your joint compound. You're seeing the light green pail of the ultra lightweight, and you're seeing the darker green pail, which is the all-purpose. What's good about this is it takes a lot of time away from having to mix and keep mixing and keep mixing. You can just come to the bucket, scoop it up, it's already pre-made for you. The downsides to it is they take a lot longer to dry compared to the powdered forms. These are used more so if you don't plan to finish your project in the same day. If you don't plan on putting 2 coats or sanding or painting in that same day, you can go ahead with these. The light pail does dry faster than the darker pail. The darker pail is a lot more moist than the lighter pail. This takes a full 24 hours to dry. This may hit anywhere between 12 and 18 hours to dry. But again, it also is going to depend on the temperature of where you're applying them. If you are in a humid place, it's gonna take long to dry regardless. If you are in temperatures beneath 70 degrees, it's going to take longer to dry. It's just what it is, you know what I'm saying? But it also goes for the powdered form. The temperature that you're in is going to determine how fast your mud is going to dry as well. So, all right, guys, so we're gonna go ahead and move to step number 3, which is showing you the texture that you want. I already had a bag of 20 minutes open, so I'm just gonna go ahead and mix that quickly. I'm not gonna mix a lot, neither. It's just to show you guys what you don't want it to look like and what you do want it to look like. Also just gonna use a bottle of water right now. And again, I don't know if you can see that perfectly, but I didn't add too much in there. And in terms of water, just start with enough. I'm gonna tilt this down the best that I can so you can see what it looks like. You see this, how you still have all this water around and it's clumpy? You want this thing to be so smooth. Any clumps that's left inside your mix is gonna show up on your finish, and you don't want that. Next thing to remember, if your mud is stuck like that and just clumpy, it's bad. Do you see how watery that is? You do not. You do not want that. You want your texture to be smooth and not just dripping off of your knife. You want it to, there's gonna be some falling off, it's mud, but you don't want it to be falling off like raindrops. You want it to gradually move down, you know what I'm saying? That's how you know you have like a really good texture. It's not too wet, it's not too dry. The texture that you want is completely smooth. And I'm not actually going to apply this to anything today. If you would like to see how I mud drywall, I'll leave a link in the description for another video that you can watch. I can't stress enough how important it is to make sure that your mix is free of all debris, is free of all clumps, because what's inside your pan is gonna go onto your wall. And as much as, you know, you can always hide certain things with your second coat, you don't want your first coat to be all over the place neither. You're just adding more work to yourself. As you can see here, it's how smooth it looks. It can look smooth and still not be the texture that you want. That's not what you want. You see the clumps in there as well? That's gonna show up on your wall. So what you would do is, again, being that you're so close to the texture that you want, you just add a little bit. Of course, not every situation is gonna be the same, so I can't say add a quarter more of this. So you know what I'm saying? You have to just go based off of what you have. You see how it takes a little bit longer for time to go down? That's what you're looking for. I showed you guys what it looks like if it's too wet. Now, that there is a problem. When your mud starts to become hard, it's time to throw this out and mix again, because trying to smooth and feather this into your wall is going to be a headache, much less getting it out of your pan like this. And it's just not gonna look good. Just don't do it. So yes, get rid of that. See how smooth it is? So if you notice, it didn't move. And I know it's, you know what I'm saying? It's still, you can still feather it in and stuff like that. That's the kind of texture that you're looking for. So when you put it on, whatever wall you're putting it on, you can make it however you want it. That's what you're looking for. And again, if you would like to see how I mud drywall, I'll leave a link in the description. You can go ahead and click on that and watch that video, and I'll show you more thoroughly how to mix things. But yeah, that's that texture that you want. Not too hard, not too soft. You can literally stick your finger straight through it. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna go clean myself. All right, guys, so that's it for today. Today's video, again, we went over how to mix compound. We went over the different types that you can use, when you should use them, the texture that you would like. And again, if you were able to learn something from this, just do me a favor and hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and leave me a comment to let me know how your thoughts on everything. If you have any tips yourself that you would like to give me or to anybody that's also watching this video who's never done this before. But other than that, thank you guys so much again for watching and tuning in again. This is your boy Josh with your renovation expert. Take care. Love.